All right, in this lesson, we are going to be focusing on ordering fractions. You are going to be using what you've learned about comparing fractions and what you've learned about making equivalent fractions to help you solve these problems. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by giving us some numbers to work with. 3/4, 7/8, and 3/8. So I want to order these from least to greatest. So that means the smallest number is going to be listed first and the largest number is going to be listed last. All right, so I notice that I have these two as eighths and these as fourths. I'm not gonna guess though to figure out how many eighths this would be. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this into eighths. So I'm asking myself, 4 times what gives me 8? Well, 4 times 2. And to make equivalent fractions, whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do the top. And this gives me this to be equivalent to 6/8. So now I have 6/8, 7/8, and 3/8. So it's really easy for me to figure out which is the smallest. Obviously, when it comes to a chocolate bar, 3/8 is the least amount that I want. So 3/8 is the smallest, then 6/8, but I'm gonna be fancy and I'm gonna write this as 3/4 because that was the original number listed in the problem. And then the largest amount of chocolate bar would be 7/8, and that's what I want. So I'm going to give you a problem, and I'd like you to go ahead and try it now. Let's go ahead and look at 4/12, 3/4, and 8/12. All right, you are going to order these from least to greatest. Go ahead and try that on your own. All right, so I have 4/12, 3/4, and 8/12. I noticed that 2 of these are already in twelfths. I also have noticed that 4 is a factor of 12, which means I can figure out 4 times what gives me 12. Well, 4 times 3. I need to make an equivalent fraction, so whatever I do at the bottom, I need to do the top. This gives me then 9/12. So 3/4 is equivalent to 9/12. Now I'm going to list these from least to greatest. Well, 4/12 is the smallest, so I'm going to list this first. Then I have 8/12. And I'm going to list 3/4 last because it is the largest as being equivalent to 9/12. All right, let's go ahead and pay attention to this set of numbers. I have 6/8, 4/6, and I have 3/12. Actually, let's make that 8/12 and 8/12. And I want you to order these from greatest to least. I want you to see what you can do with that on your own. Go ahead and try that one on your own. All right, one thing you probably noticed is that none of the 3 of them have the same denominator. So, and you probably also noticed that there was no way you could make all of them have 8 as a denominator, 6 as a denominator, and 12 as a denominator. It just wasn't gonna happen. So in this case, you need to think about what number each of these is a common factor to. Meaning, what times what will get me a number that I can also multiply this by something and this by something to get that number. You may have figured out that it's 24. So I can multiply 8 by 3, top and bottom, to get 18 24ths. I can multiply 6 times 4 to get 16 24ths. And I can multiply 12 times 2 to get me 16 24ths. Now I can order these from greatest to least because they all have the same denominator. And then sometimes you will have to change every single number to get the correct denominator. Sometimes that just happens. So I have the greatest number is 6/8 because it's equal to 18 24ths. But now I'm running into the dilemma that 4/6, 8/12, and 16 24ths are all equivalent. In this case, it doesn't matter which number I list first. And look at there, the numbers were already in order from greatest to least. I'm gonna give you one more to practice, and then you can complete the exit ticket. So we have these numbers, let's see. Four eighths, 7 16ths, and 25 32nds. And I want you to order from greatest to least. Go ahead and try that on your own. All right, so again, you probably noticed that I can't really get these all to be the same. Actually, I can. I can turn 8 times 4 into 32. And I can multiply 16 times 2 to get 14 32nds. Okay, so in this case, I was able to. Now, I need to order these from greatest to least. The greatest one is going to be 25 32nds, then 16 32nds, which is equal to 4/8, and 7 16ths, which is equal to 14 32nds. I hope that gave you some good practice on using equivalent fractions to help yourself order fractions.